various and also from different walks of life and also from different academic streams. It's always good to connect to you people. But I always enjoy doing classes and my sessions offline. But as the organizers told me that due to the academic constraints of the faculties who are participating, it's been converted into an online. And anyways, all said and done, it's good that we have been meeting at least online. And it's a process where we try to exchange the ideas and also see that we can develop ourselves into a good academicians in the coming days. And I first and foremost thank the HRDC team for giving me this opportunity. And hopefully, I'll be speaking and I'll also be able to convey the message what I wanted to do and speak to you people in this 2 hours of a session. And my area of presentation or my area of my today's presentation will be on media literacy, how important it is, as many of our friends here come from the academic background, and we have a trend of meeting good number of people, good number of students at various levels. We interact with them, and it's a high time that we have to bring in a kind of a media literacy, because we know that media today is booming so much, and the kind of aversion what we have towards getting information, because when there are loads of information which is coming towards us, and people are so much glued into the social media nowadays, and there is no depth of information. But at the same time, one is to get yourself more educated. You can keep yourself more informed, but at the same time, there is also a word of caution. There is also a word to be very cautious about what kind of information needs to be shared, what kind of information need to be understood, because in the middle of sharing, in the middle of caring, in the middle of building a good, reputed, informed society, we are somewhere neglecting the very important part, that is the media literacy. The differentiation between the good and bad, the differentiation between the truth and the fake, the differentiation between the constructive information and the destructive information has got a very thin line which needs to be addressed. And I think this kind of platform where we have been meeting, I think you people can carry back a lot of things from these sessions, where you people can address these issues, because we are in a process of building an informed society, building a very educated society, not a misleading society, because at the end of the day, there are a different section of people who have been very much affected by the kind of fake information, by the fake of misinformation and disinformation, which is being spread in the name of using of social media. So once again, I thank, and this was the basic, and this was the kind of the base why we are doing this particular session. And I want our colleagues and my friends in the academia to take this small information, what is being discussed, and join us, join hands with us, because we are in a big kind of, I should say, a group of people have come together to make this media literacy across the globe, especially in a country like ours, where we are completely divided in the name of religion, politics, multiculture, multi-religion, food habits, everything is different. But there is a scope and there is a need for our intervention, media intervention, to build a very strong community where we can fight and where we can combat the misinformation. And as I told, this sorry. And as I told, this particular program, what is being designed and what is being brought to you people is a group of work which is being done by a selected number of individuals who have been trained by Google India. And I'm also a part of this Google India initiative, where we have been trained by the Google India to identify the fake content, the misinformation and disinformation. The cut short, we had to go back to the year 2020, when all of us were been in quarantine, all of us were been locked down. Due to the lockdown, we people were locked up into our own respective houses, not moving here and there. So that was the time when we saw a very strong surge, or I should say a strong growing usage of the social media, not only from the elderly people, but also among the youngsters and among the children. And in the name of using the social media and in the name of getting connected with the people who have been fallen apart in the name of in the different countries, we thought that when the survey was being done by the Google India, just to see the usage level and also just to see how people have been using this social media, we got a data and we got a research feedback that many of the information which is being transferred or many of the information which is being shared by the people on the social media was not at all authenticated information. In the name of sharing, in the name of spreading the information, many of the content was fake. Many of the content was kind of a misleading. Many of the content was a kind of a manipulated content which was being given to the public so that it was not only ruining, it was not only affecting the mindset of the people, but at the same time, the very fabric of the society was getting deteriorated. So that was when the Google India came up with an initiative called as this Factshala, where we wanted to help the people, especially this whole program, what we have been doing since 2020. That is the same thing what I've been bringing it to you people, where we wanted to preach and we wanted to tell the people, especially from the smaller cities and also from the villages, how critical it is very important for us to understand what kind of information is that you people are being consuming every day. So that is what the Factshala is all about. And this is a completely information literacy program. And nowadays we are doing it at the not only at the rural level but also at the urban level, because over the period of time since the past 3 years we have got to know that what we thought was urban elite class or maybe the urban educated class are the people who are much more aware of the content what goes into the media. But to our surprise, we got to know that even the people in the urban areas are on par with the village people who are not so much educated. Because when it comes to sharing of the information, both of them stand on par with each other, and the kind of information what they are sharing is not at all good in the taste of the society. So this is our Factshala thing, and I'm very happy and I'm also very grateful to the Google India initiative, because this is a group of 250 people. We are around 250 trainers across the country, and I'm representing the state of Karnataka, to train the people, because we thought earlier what we thought was urban area people, the penetration of the internet. I'm just to give you a basic about these things. There are, as we all know, there is a huge penetration of internet and the kind of internet which is being used, especially thanks to companies like Geo and all who have been giving the internet for the free of cost or maybe a lesser price. And you don't find any place or a rural or in any interior locale in the country which doesn't have an internet facility. Almost everything. So keeping the other problems aside, I'm speaking only about the penetration of the internet and the usage of mobile phones among the rural lot as well as the urban people. Okay, so that was when we thought, and we thought it is high time that, and another kind of a research also showed that there is a huge rise of the usage of the internet, of the usage of the social media and the usage of the mobile phones in the rural part of India, especially among women and among youngsters and all. So the urban and the Factshala came up with an idea that why shouldn't we go to these people? Because they are the uneducated people, they are the rural masses, and it's a high time that we should tell them what is it they are going to do and what is the kind of a repercussion which is happening because of the fake content and all. So that is how we came up with this idea. Earlier, we used to do the sessions only in English and Hindi. Later on, we thought if you really want to go and meet the people at the grassroots level, and if you really want to go and hold on to the pulses of the people, we have to get as local as possible. So we thought that is when the applications were being called in, where people started representing each state. So I do it in Kannada and I do it in English because I come from the state of Karnataka. In the same way, we have all our group of people, Factshala trainers, who have been drawn from different states, especially from the different languages and all. So that is how the whole team is all about. And this is a regular process what we have been doing. And we are trying to build a very informed society. We want to come up with an informed society in this particular thing. So what will be the outcome? So it's a two and a half hour program, or maybe the session will be going on. So we have divided the sessions also into different things. By the end of, by and looking at you people, or why we are trying to get on to the teachers, get on to our academic friends and trainers is because we are the people who will be meeting our youngsters every day. Fine. So we are interacting with them. We know their pattern of usage. You know their idea of using the mobile phones. We know for what purpose do they use. And we also know what is the level of understanding of the information. So we thought good that our academic friends are there, our trainers are there, who can take this issue to the people. I don't say that things can change overnight. It's a very slow process. And we in these 3 years, we have seen at least 8 to 9% of changes in the outlook of the people when it comes to sharing of the information. That's a very minimal percentage what I'm sharing with you. It's a very smallest of the small, but still some changes are happening. And we are happy about that kind of changes because of these training programs which are happening. So in this particular thing, we'll be having 5 outcomes by the time the people learn and by the time the people finish it. One is we'll be speaking about the importance of the credible information in the society. That is very much important. What information is all about. What is information to me may not be information to you. Or what is good information for you may not be good information for me. So in this particular thing, we'll be studying how important it is to have a credible information in the society. Secondly, we'll also train and we'll also discuss something about how to identify, not only about identifying, but also to understand what is misinformation and what is disinformation. As our academic friends, or as an academicians, we all know what information is all about. But when you segregate the information into different categories, you can also categorize it into misinformation and the disinformation, which I'll be telling it to you people again with examples and with case studies, all related to social media and how the dissemination of information is being happening. Third, we'll also discuss something about the news and opinion, because irrespective of the subject where we come from, whether we come from social work, whether we come from commerce, whether I come from journalism, whether I come from science, there are people who go through news. Okay, there are people who go through newspapers. They get their information through televisions, radio, social media. So there is a huge difference between the news and the opinion. So what is that we need to understand? How, as a teacher, when you're speaking, when you're addressing your students, how is it you have to tell them this is the news, this is the opinion? Okay, that kind of education, that kind of small anecdotes during our sessions will surely go a very long way in educating the masses in identifying the fake content or maybe the misinformation. Then I will also be speaking about developing and exercising critical thinking. So sometimes even I feel, we say we are putting around 15, 20 years of service, but still there are many situations where we don't think critically. We just tell students, and with all these NEP and all coming up, where they say we have to make the students more critical thinkers. We have to involve students. We have to do sessions which are student centric. So in this particular, we'll also see how we can develop a kind of a critical thinking among our students community in between our classes, and also about the biases. Okay, everybody will have a kind of a bias. Okay, so let's understand what are the human biases and what are the common types which are being used and how we can differentiate. And also, I'll also try to introduce you people and also tell you something about the softwares which are being there, which can be used on our own mobiles, wherein we can check the fact checking tools are there, small fact checking tools are there, which can be used in a different manner. So first, let's understand what information is all about. Okay, from the perspective of an communication aspect, from the perspective of an academically, information is information for everybody. But how do you segregate? That is very much important. As we all discuss about this in the session, that information for everybody is power today. We have to have, or as an academic person, or as a student, or as a general individual also, what is very much necessary for each one of us is to have that power of information. We always tell the students in the class, why you're not able to speak? Because the person is not keeping himself or herself informed. Only when I've been an informed individual, I can speak for hours together. I can retaliate to whatever the question is being asked. I can critically think. I can analyze things. So that means information today is power. And we have been getting the information across the different sources. And one of the easiest way for the children or for our students is the accessibility. Okay, earlier we used to pick up a newspaper, we used to watch a TV, we used to listen to a radio program. So everything used to happen. That is how we have grown. Our majority of us, our generation was a completely different one. But the kind of accessibility what is happening for the students of this particular period is only through social media. And as we all know that information is nothing but the lifeblood. Okay, especially for a healthy society to have, I would say, the biggest democracy, what we say. So that is the kind of a society we are all in. So for any democratic growth or for any strong society to be built, we need information. That is the reason why our whole area is what is the information what we are sharing. And as I tell, without information, people, why information? Why we keep telling our students is because without any kind of an information, we can neither understand nor we can effectively respond to the situation, because only through an informed society we can shape our life. That is the way where we can try to shape the world where we are living in.
Sorry to interrupt. The
Yeah.
slide is not moving, ma'am.
No, I moved it.
No, it's not moving since so long.
No. It's moving here.
But it's not moving here
Is it?
on the
You are
screen.
stuck up in the first one, is it? Ilvala, nandu
Yes,
move
Yes.
ma'am.
ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ?
Yes,
Can you
yes,
see?
yes, ma'am. No, it's not moving.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Yes, ma'am. It's not moving.
Okay, let me check. I've already come to the 7th slide.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Can you check it? Because I don't have my technical man. He just went out for a lunch. Let me see. I'll just go ahead with it. Can you see now?
No, it is not moving.
One sec. Let me check. Can you see now?
The same slide is there.
No?
Mhm.
One sec. Can you check? Can you see now?
Now we can, ma'am.
Can you see the second one?
Now it is like moving.
Okay.
Our aim.
Yes. Can you see?
Next is factual
Okay, fine.
learning.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Can
Now
key
it has
learning?
come. Yes,
I'm
yes.
I'm not expanding it, or I'm not magnifying that. I'll just go with this.
Yeah, key learning outcomes is coming.
Okay, understanding information.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, information is power.
Yes, done.
Okay, fine. This is where I was stuck up. So without information, people can neither understand nor effectively respond. So it becomes very imperative for us, or it's very necessary for us to have information, so that whatever the situation comes to me, okay, only with a proper and a background information, I can respond, not only about responding, but also to shape the life. That is very much important. So just to give you a brief idea, because many of us are being a part of the social media, so we don't find any individual who are not without social media usage. So just to give you a small scenario here, there are more than 900 billion estimate search which happens on Google every day. That means what is the information people are looking for? Just imagine every day 9 billion search happens. You may be searching on something, I may be searching on something. Out of 29 of us, 29 are searching different things. So just imagine what is the period means. There is an overloaded of information which is already there in the store. But how you use it, how you are trying to use it for changing somebody's perception or changing somebody's attitude, that matters a lot. So that means there is a huge information. That means there is no breadth of information at the outset. The second important thing is, as everybody are using social media nowadays, especially the Instagram. Okay, especially I'm just giving the data. This is the 2022 data. Okay, so there are 500 billion people who are using the stories. Okay, especially among youngsters, among even people like us also, we are a part of this Instagram. Okay, that means you want to tell people something. That means there is a sharing of information. There is a collection of information. So that and something of that sort. Then there are 7,600 tweets which are being done every second. Okay, so that is also very much important. And regarding this YouTube videos, one of the best way and one of the most easiest way for students to learn things today is the YouTube videos. Okay, it can be in the form of cooking, it can be your makeup, it can be your preparing yourself for the exams, presentation, or making a PPT. People are glued into more and more number of YouTube. So just imagine that people are posting around 1 billion hours of video every day. What is that they are posting? Then everybody are on WhatsApp. Our day starts and ends only with the WhatsApp message, good morning, good night and all. In between a lot of the discussions, deliberations which happens on internet, sorry, on WhatsApp. So around 100 billion messages on WhatsApp are being shared. And as YouTube, as a Facebook thing also, around more than 1.91 billion people are using Facebook. Okay. So just wanted to prevent, before we start off this particular thing, many of you people might have heard, okay, just you can raise your hands, I can just see it on on your chat also. How many of you are aware of the term fake news and misinformation? You can just raise your hands if it is there, because I'm not going to do it because it's an offline session would have been much more better, but still. So many of us know what a fake news or a misinformation is. So now, this particular landscape, earlier, people used to share information. People used to share information only for three things. One was to keep ourselves educated. Okay. Second was, I wanted to become informed citizen. That's why. Third was only for entertainment. Okay. These were only the three things why people used to share the information, whether it was radio, whether it was TV, or whether it was the newspaper. But over the period of time, there is a huge shift. Okay. I should say a paradigm shift has happened since the interventions or since the coming up of the social media or the internet as a whole. So there is a complete change in the landscape itself. Okay, that means the kind of information, what used to be educative in the earlier days is no more an education. What used to be an entertainment for the people in the previous years is not an entertainment anymore. Or maybe what used to be an information, very important information for our time, maybe not be information for the students of present time. That means there is a huge shift in the way the information, not only it is being supplied to the people or it is being disseminated to the people, but also the kind of understanding also. Earlier, I'm just giving an example because many of our parents are here. A scolding by a parent, okay, for example, if my mother has scolded me or my dad has scolded me, we used to take it as a learning lesson, or we used to take it as a correction method. Okay, my father is angry with me because I must have done something wrong. So that's the reason I need to change my way of life, or change my way of thinking. But nowadays, if you scold a child, the only resolution or the only solution what he has is to commit suicide. Okay, so the thing is, there is a huge change in the way people have started accepting the things. A joke is no more a joke. Okay, and angry people, teacher correcting a student is not more a correction. It becomes an harassment for students. So the thing is, there is a huge, there is a different way in which the information has started taking up. So as we all know, now it is a challenge, okay, especially with all those things, information coming in, films, television, photographs, cartoons, you name it, you'll have it. YouTube, Twitter, all those things. So how is it I'm going to do this? The information is coming from various sources for me. And will I be able to consume so much of an information? Even if I'm consuming, am I doing it very critically? I'm being very judgmental. Can I judge the information? So this is where the big question comes in. This is where these kind of workshop we are doing across the country to make the people think. We want the people to think very critically before sharing any kind of an information. It may be a very minute information for you, but it will be a very big incident for somebody else. Okay, that we need to check that. So as we all know, again, coming back to our sources of information. So many of us know that the information come to us in different ways. And when we question and when we ask the people, many of them say that they are more into social media. Okay, many of my friends in the panel in the class session may also agree that there are many of us, even for us also, we don't have time to go through the newspapers. So that is the reason why we go for e-newspapers, or we go for the soft news and all on the internet and all. So we know there are information which is coming to us in a different ways. It can be family, it can be our neighbor, friends, relatives, internet, television, radio, all those things used to be the various one. Okay, so but nowadays, when you ask any of the students as to how do they get their information, the first and the foremost answer what they say is they depend on social media. That means, so here comes a question that does the information on the social media, which is being consumed by our younger generation, or even consumed by us for that particular matter, is apt? Is it digestible? Is it correct? Is it authentic? Okay, that needs to be questioned. That is what we are trying to do it here. So at the same time, we all know that people do consume information, and at the same time, people consume information differently. The way I consume the news may not be the same what Dr. Nagesh may have thought about, or maybe Dr. Rashmi might have thought about, or maybe Dr. Nanjun Swami has thought about, because each one of us are different. Our mindset is different, our background is different, our culture is different, my assessment level is different, my integration is different, okay, my integrity is different. Okay, so that means people will try to consume things in a different way. So when we did this, when we saw, and when the first round of thing was being done to see whether the people consume things on a different way, we got the behavior outcome. Okay, so this is very much important because any media, whether any information can mold the people. It helps any individual to form an opinion. It gives a kind of a direction for the individual, and that outcome can be good or that outcome can be bad. That is what we are thinking. So when we made a bifurcation about doing of all these things, we saw there was a huge behavioral changes leading to good information and bad information. Okay, when I say good information, even for us also, when I say good information, a good information should be something which can empower us, which can add a kind of a new dimension to our knowledge, which can add up to a new diversity to the knowledge thing, whatever is there in your mind. Okay, that means it should make me empower. As an individual, I'm doing something. As a woman, I'm doing something. As an academic, I'm doing something. So any information I take from my friends, from my book, it should lead to the empowerment. We should check whether it is doing that or not. Secondly, any information, good information, because we need to tell this to our students in the classroom because it is very important. It has to happen. The second important thing is about when you have a good information which will make you empowered, it will be able to take a very informed decision. Okay, because I'm telling you again and again, informed decision is because as minute and a minute issues has led to the killing of somebody. A minute and a minute issues on the social media has led to somebody's debacle, somebody's death has happened, somebody's reputation is on stake, some organizations have been closed down, some women's reputation has been on stake. Okay, that means, so you have to, a good information, something which can keep ourselves informed. Third, whenever we as teachers, whenever we as academicians have to do that, we have to share any information which can be verified. Many of us don't do it. Very intelligent, any can, even I might have done a lot of mistake. I might have done a lot of mistake without sharing. So without verifying the certain things, I've shared information which is completely wrong and which has become for me as a kind of a shameful thing. So that is also there. And at the same time, when you have a good information, there will be a huge trust in the society. Nowadays, you ask anybody, people don't trust each other. Parents don't trust their children, children don't trust teachers, teachers don't trust their students sometimes. Because a good information to somebody, where the trust becomes more strong. Okay, the political the disrespect is there, a kind of people don't trust each other. That is what the good information should do. But whereas when you have the manipulated information, which is more there at the social media and all, when you look into that, any kind of a manipulated information will bring in disruption, disruptive society. What is happening at Israel? What is happening in other parts of the world? You know, there is a lot of disruption which is happening. There is a chaos. Okay, if you look into the Manipur thing, there is a lot of chaos. I'll come and give you an example how a small information can lead to a very big disruption in the society. Third is panic, especially during this COVID. Okay, we were given so much of an information that people started becoming more and more panic. People say the food is going out of stock. People have to go and get vaccinated. If not, you will die. There are no beds in the hospital. So you started creating a kind of a panic in the mind of the people. And at the same time, it will lead to a lot of violence. Okay. So this is what a manipulated information which is happening on the social media. So we need to look at whether we need to give good information, whether we need to share good information, or whether we need to go for the manipulated information is the big question which we need to tell when we are using or when we are a part of the social media. And then, what are the challenges when you have all these things in the social media? Good information, bad information, because we are all humans. We tend to commit any kind of an error. But knowingly and unknowingly, if you do it, then things are different. But if intentionally you are doing something, then there is a thing we need to question when we need to think about. So there are different kind of challenges with all these kind of a setup in the country, or maybe in the usage of the social media. One is there is a lot of rise in the online, especially the misinformation and disinformation. The kind of messages, the kind of pictures, the kind of videos, the kind of content which is being shared are all misleading people. Okay, they are creating a kind of a panic in the mind of the people. Second is when you have these kind of things, we have distorted facts. The facts and figures which is being given in the media, which is being shown on the TV or maybe on your social media, it's all distorted. Nothing is correct, nothing is authentic. Everything is manipulated. People want to create a kind of a tension in your mind. People want to create a kind of a panic in your mind. Okay, so that is there. I'll give you with examples. I'll tell you with some anecdotes, which will be easy for you to understand also. Then there is a huge rise in the hate speech. People have started speaking about each other. People speak about somebody's culture. People speak about somebody's personal life. People speak about the gender equality, gender inequality. People speak something about something or the other. There has been so much of an hate mongering which is happening in and around us. There is no positivity. There is very less positivity. You may also agree in your own places, workplace, or maybe at your house, or maybe neighbors. There is a lot of violence. There is a lot of speech. Just because an husband didn't take her for a trip to Dubai, I don't know whether people have come across this. She requested for a trip to Dubai, and the husband said, "I'll not be able to take you this time." And she just punched him on his face, and he was out. He died on the spot. That means there's so much a kind of a violence, there's so much a kind of an impatience among people that it has been happening in a very long race, and we are not concentrating more on that. Okay, we are just thinking of development, but the development is not only about infrastructure. Development is not only about investment. It is about our well-being. Okay, it is about our well-being, and being informed can be leading to all these kind of things. Then, as I told, marginalized groups are there. There's a lot of hate speech which is happening among them. It can be minorities, it can be about tribal community, about women, about LGBTQ, lot many things about the marginalized thing. Then, as I told you, conspiracy theories. Okay, many people, Puva Poha, we call it in Kannada thing where we say, Puva Poha, Agbodeno. Okay, it may happen, it may not happen. And people want to conspire with one another. People don't want to have a very healthy kind of a competition. It's always conspiracy theories. This and all is leading only because of the kind of information you are sharing. Because there is a theory in media or maybe communication where we say that television, and it's like a bullet theory. You keep on hitting a bullet at somebody, people will die. So same is with the kind of information which is on social media. If you keep on giving them the more of negativity, people tend to be negative. People tend to think very negative. Okay, so there is a huge rise in the conspiracy theories also. And as I told, there is a disruption. If you lead into all these things, obviously the social fabric or maybe the communal harmony within the country, we might have seen. So there is a lot of unrest among the people in terms of religion, in terms of politics, in terms of gender, in terms of different things. Okay, there is a lot of disharmony which is happening thanks to our social media, because it is fueling a more into that, and we want that to be brought down so that we can have a healthy or a better society. Then, as I told, there is a huge breakdown on trust. People not trusting each other. People don't even trust the media nowadays, because they think what has come in social media is correct and what is being shown on TV is wrong. Okay, without any authentication, there is no trust among people. And as I told, having a free society and where democracy is in danger. So we need to understand about this. So as I told, misinformation can be more dangerous also. Okay, because this is a small video which I'll not be able to play. But anyways, how misinformation can be spread. So this is a small video, a grab of children playing in the road. They are playing. I can't play the video right now. So there are children playing in the street, and somebody comes and picks up the child. The same video will be used as the video on the Lucknow roads, the video on Delhi roads, the video on Mysore, same video, but it is being not done in a particular place. The thing is, you want to create a kind of a panic in the minds of the people. So, but when we did a cross check, so there is a group of people who do this fact checking, and we wanted to see why this video is making so much of a rounds. ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ we thought, let us look at the authenticity of the video. And when we checked the authenticity, we got to know that this particular video was not at all from India. India's alvene alla, but it was a public service advertisement from Pakistan. But people used this video to create a kind of a tension, to create a kind of a panic among the people in India, saying that your children are not safe on roads in Lucknow. Your children are not safe in the roads of Hyderabad. The same video was playing in different location in different things. So this is what is happening. They want to create a kind of a panic, and as I told, many people were been affected. Many people are being impacted by these kind of things. So let me go to the second thing. This is what happened with WhatsApp. And as we all know, WhatsApp thing is a very thing. WhatsApp keep on making a lot of noise, not only in the good manner, but also in the bad thing also. So this small video of a viral video, which led to the death of two men. The video is below, the pictures are of two people. One is Mr. Das and one is Mr. Nath. Both of them were Assamese and they were digital artists. They had gone on a trip. Okay, they were residents of Assam and they had gone to a small village for a particular shooting and all. And somebody took, they were doing a shooting in some of the rural part of the Assam. And it was a national news also for that thing. Okay, they were doing the shooting. One person from the village shot them in the sense they took a video of them shooting the different, and they said these two people are the child kidnappers. And he left and he used that small video to circulate among the villagers, which led to the death of these two people, where they were caught by the villagers. They thought, they misunderstood that these people are the child abductors, that they are come for the child kidnapping, and they have been killed. That means a small misinterpretation, a small misunderstanding of these things can lead to somebody's death. And this is just a small example. There are many number of things which has happened. This is about the misunderstanding of the thing. They believed it to them to be a kidnapper. Then many a time misinformation can also lead to psychological disturbances. Okay, I'm just giving you a small, especially we all know the kind of mental trauma what we people have undergone during the COVID. Many of the people have lost their family members, father, mother, brother, husbands. We have many of us lost our family members due to a kind of a psychological impact. See, we are strong. I'm strong. You are strong. Some people are strong here. We can't tell that all the people or all the individuals are strong enough. Okay, because we vary in different things. So just an example of saying this, that you may believe it or not, the misinformation was so strong that there was a message which was read by a daughter and a mother, where they locked themselves for 3 years, 20, 21, 22, December Tanka. These three people had locked themselves in the room or maybe in the house, fearing that if they go out, the COVID will be there, will attack them, and they may be affected by that, and they would lose their life. Okay, so that means the misinformation has led to a psychological kind of a changes in the mind of the people. This is a very small one. Okay, like this, there are n number of examples we can quote where the misinformation can lead to the psychological things. Okay, so like this, and you might have seen many of the videos which have been making rounds nowadays. People have started committing suicide live on FB. Okay, and that has been circulated in the WhatsApp, that has been circulated in the YouTube. Just imagine a person with a, I should say, what you call as a weak mentality, or maybe a person who is not strong enough. Just seeing the same kind of a video, what could be the kind of an impact which would be having on a particular person? Okay, that means there are many friends. I was just going through one of the sessions. I would just like to quote that particular anecdote where a group of students were telling that, Madam, my friend, he has a psychological suicidal tendency. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು suicide video. Madam, one is he has got suicidal tendency. Second, he enjoys seeing those kind of suicidal videos. So this is the kind of thing what we have. So you have to be very careful in that particular thing. And then you have misinformation can also lead to the financial debacle. Okay, sometimes financial things, especially now everybody knows that the clicking of the link, or maybe bank thing, or maybe losing the money in the name of fraud, everything is happening. So misinformation can also lead to many financial things. many intelligent people. I need not have to be any uneducated person only. It can be even intelligent people like us, an educated class people, where we have lost huge money when you're placing an order. Okay, when you're giving an OTP to somebody. Okay, no, we know that people keep alerting you all the time, but still you give them the OTP and see what is happening. Okay, so that means there is a kind of an misinformation related to financial things also. Okay, then misinformation can also lead to violence. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. This is a very small, I won't say a small incident, Kalarkurichi incident, which has happened in Tamil Nadu. How a particular information can lead to violence. I told you, good information is empowerment, whereas a bad information or a misinformation can lead to a violence. And this particular example is a death of a girl in a school in a remote village, like Kalikurichi is a school where a 17-year-old girl died. The girl died because of her health issue. Okay, she was there in the school at the time of the incident, and she had. But the information which was being passed on over the school group or maybe over the internet, and the messages started spreading in such a way that they said the school people have harassed the girl, and that is the reason why she lost her life. Due to the torture of the teacher, the girl has died. Okay, without knowing the proper reason. And it went to to such an extent that the school buses, 4 school buses were being burned down in just a fraction of a second. That means you are not seeing whether what is right and what is wrong. You are not asking the people whether what was the real incident all about. Later on, it was found that the girl had a problem. She had some problem with her breathing. And that was the reason why she had an attack there, breathing attack. And that is how she died. But by the time the result and the news came out, schools were been damaged, the school buses were being damaged. Okay, so this is what happens in a fraction of a second, in a jiffy. People want to jump into conclusions. So it may be this, but just imagine killing somebody. Just imagine somebody losing a life for no fault of theirs. So this is the reason why we are trying to see that these kind of you need to verify. We need to check whether it's right or wrong. We need to see whether this information, if I forward it to somebody else, is it going to have a repercussion on somebody or not? So these kind of things needs to be checked very carefully. And as I told, even we are vulnerable. Okay, misinformation and disinformation or the manipulation doesn't leave anybody in terms of age, my educational background, whatever be the thing. I may be a very, we may be academically, we are very sound, but still we have got into one or the other kind of a trouble. Okay, like misinformation or getting the lottery ticket. We know that is wrong. Giving an information to somebody, it may be manipulated. So we are very vulnerable. So that's the reason why we have to see 2 kinds of information. One is, there are 2 kinds of information which I wanted to bring your notice to. One is the misinformation. Okay, what is this misinformation? What is this misinformation? This is false. It's tappu, sarila, it's wrong. But the person who is disseminating the information believes it to be true. For example, if some information comes to me, okay, it's a false information. It says, you might have seen many of the, I'm just given an example where we had an content which said Kapil Dev died. Rest in peace, Kapil Dev. Rest in peace, Balasubramaniam. Rest in peace, Lata Mangeshkar before they died. Okay, so I know that information is a false information, but as a person who is disseminating this, I tend to believe it is true. For example, an uneducated person. An uneducated person doesn't know what is true or what is wrong. If he or she does it, who doesn't have a background information, then it can be called misinformation. Is also a kind of information which is harmless, which can't harm anybody. For example, again, small example is having an Abraham Lincoln's photo next to that a particular quote, any quote. Okay, we use Buddha's photo, we use Gandhiji's photo, we use somebody, APJ Abdul Kalam's photo. There's some information on that. So we'll never know whether the information is being seriously given by them or not. But we tend to believe it, and it is not harmful. It is harmless. So those kind of information is called as a misinformation. Whereas disinformation is a kind of information that is false. And the person who is disseminating knows that it is false, but I do it very deliberately and intentionally. ಓಕೆ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅದು ತಪ್ಪಂತ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅದು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಳ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಬೇಕಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್: we are falling prey to more of a disinformation. Especially, I would like to quote many of the rape videos, many of the accident videos, okay, which have been spreaded, which has been sent through WhatsApp, which has been given through YouTube. You keep on sharing those on your FB feed or maybe your Twitter account and all, a photograph, naked photograph, or maybe unwanted kind of things, personal issues related to individuals, because you know that, because it's not me, no, it's nobody is there from my family. Nam manoru yaru alvala. It is ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರದ್ದು ಲೈಫ್, ಅದು ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರದ್ದು ರೆಪ್ಯುಟೇಷನ್, ಯಾರ್ದೋ ವೈಫು, ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಅಕ್ಕ, ಯಾರ್ದೋ ತಂಗಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ? Let me disseminate. You know that is wrong. You know, spreading these kind of thing can bring damage to that girl or bring damage to the family, but still we do it. These kind of thing, what we do is called as a disinformation. And what is happening in India is more of this. Deliberately people are doing it because you want to break the society. You want to create a kind of a chaos in the society. You want to bring a kind of a, what you call, violence in the society. Okay, that is what is happening in disinformation. Just to give you, just to make the things much more clearer, disinformation, everybody knows about this Manipur issue. Many of my colleague friends, my academic friends know about it. Okay, it's about a cookie tribe. Okay, you know how even after 4 or 5 months of the Manipur issue, the Manipur is still burning. You know how things happen? It was only by a small WhatsApp message which was sent related to the cookie tribe. Okay, the cookie tribe ethnicity ಅಂತ ಏನು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗಳ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಕುಕಿ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Even to this day, even in the month of December, Manipur is burning. You might have seen a lot of, yeah.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇದು ಒಂದ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟ್, ಒಂದ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಮೇಡಮ್?
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಮೇಡಮ್, ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಪ್ಲಾಗರಿಸಂ, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಂ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ?
ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಂ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್, ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಂ.
Same madam, what they did the same in the print media also reflecting the same matter, that will cook it up once again, it's going to be burning like anything. The same, the media people should cover a real story, but they supporting the same social media once again. What they did, this is once again, it is once again cumulatively ಇದು ಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯನೇ ತಿಳಿದಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರಹದ ಗೇಟ್ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಬರೀಬೇಕಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟರ್. He goes to the ground, he collects the information, he comes back, he analyzes, he interprets, then he carries the news, then it will be checked by the copy editor, it will be checked by the editor, whether I should put it or not, whether what should be the angle of the story, what should be the treatment of the story. Then positive ಆಗಿ ಬರಿಲ್ಲ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರಿಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆ ವಿಷಯ ತಗೊಂಡೆ ಪಟ್ಟಂತ ನೀವು ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. There is nothing called as thinking. Time ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋಟೋ ತಗೋ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡು, ಫೋಟೋ ತಗೋ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕು, 250 ಜನ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಡು. So this is what is happening. That means what I'm trying to tell you here is, people don't have that time, or people don't have that critical bent of mind to think what is right and what is wrong. Yes, what you said, I totally agree. Yes, the media may be fueling the fire. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವರು ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Then where we are supposed to stop? That is the reason why we are trying to educate the people who are doing the mistake, knowingly or unknowingly. ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪು, ಇದರ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಿ, because it has led to one kind of a situation ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಂಬಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆ ನಂಬೋದು ನಮ್ದೇ ಇರೋಂಥ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಬಂದಾಗ, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್. ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಆಸ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಬೇರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟೈಸ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಕುಕ್ಕಿ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಮಣಿಪುರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಪಾಪ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡೈಡ್. ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮವ್ರಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಪಿಂಚ್. ಅದೇ ನಾಳೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ದಾರು ಆಗ್ಲಿ, obviously we feel the pinch. So we want that kind of situation to be brought down. We want that understanding among the people who are using it. We need to use these things in a very meticulous manner and very responsible manner. Yes, it is a blessing. Social media, our what you call mobile phones, smartphones, everything is a blessing. Technology is a blessing, but it also has a darker side. So this darker side, ಹೆಂಗಾರು ಮಾಡಿ ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಷ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಇನ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಜುಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ we
ಹೇಳಿ.
can add it.
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಈಗ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೆಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬೇಗ ನಂಬ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಯಾರೊಬ್ರು ಕಾಲಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀತಾರೆ, ಅವಾಗ ವೀಕ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ವಿಷಯ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೀತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಓದೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೆಡ್ಲೈಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರತ್. ಸಮಟೈಮ್ ಈ ತರ ಬಹಳ ಸಾರಿ ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲೋ